And so that's where we enter a bit of a catch-22 situation, that when the government is putting in place, obviously, measures at the moment that they hope will free up some space for the first home buyers in the market, actually, we've got those very people stepping back from the market. Well, hello again, everybody. Today I wanted to talk about one of the interesting things which tends to happen in the housing market whenever we get maybe the government doing something or the Reserve Bank doing something, as in the past with LVRs being introduced, for instance, that basically causes a bit of confusion, not so much for the investors, they can sort of read the writing on the wall sometimes with these things, but for the first home buyers. Now, these are people who have never entered into any great large financial commitment before. They're uncertain about exactly what's going to happen. They're more nervous, I would suggest, than maybe the investors and the other owner-occupiers who are maybe doing some selling and then buying. And they tend to take their guide for what to do from what their elders, what other people are doing at the same time. And so that's where we enter a bit of a catch-22 situation, that when the government is putting in place, obviously, measures at the moment that they hope will free up some space for the first home buyers in the market, actually, we've got those very people stepping back from the market. Now, I first of all saw this in my mortgage advisors survey, where we have, for instance, a net 78% of the people surveyed there, basically saying that they're seeing fewer investors, but also a net 13% of the advisors saying they are seeing fewer first home buyers. And then I saw it in the survey I do with RENZ of real estate agents, noting that they are seeing a net 63% of agents seeing fewer investors out there, but also a net 8% of those agents saying they're seeing fewer first home buyers. And then you've got my spending plans survey. This is tends to be my biggest survey. I usually get about 1,200 or 400 responses. And one of the questions that people are invited to answer, or at least one of the options there, is, are you looking at buying more or less investment property? And that's obviously fairly negative now. Are you looking at buying more or less owner-occupied property, a place for you to live in? Now, that's gone up a little bit from 3% to a net 4% of respondents there. And you would think, well, I guess that's happening for the first home buyers. Maybe they're stepping forward, seeing opportunity to make a purchase with fewer investors there. No, exactly the opposite is happening. You see, I can break those responses down into 4 age groups. And for the 3 age groups who are 31 years old and higher, their willingness to purchase a place to live in themselves has gone up. For the group of people 30 years old and lower, it's gone down from a net 26% positive in both April and March to only 15% now. The young people have actually stood back a bit from the housing market for the moment. History suggests this will be a relatively short-lived thing. I would expect these people to be stepping forward again later in the year. But certainly for the moment, just when they face an opportunity maybe of some reduced competition from investors in the market, some of them are stepping back. If you are in that boat, don't be scared by what you see around you currently. The fundamentals, while they could easily produce 1 or 2 monthly price declines, they still suggest prices are going to go up over the longer term. So I'm struggling to see a very good reason why young buyers should completely abandon the market for the rest of this year. So just keep in mind that slight sort of psychological catch-22 position there. All the best.